helping to curb all of this. Chamberlain asked the question earlier on about some individuals and groups that have been given the mandate to protect pipelines as well as our waterways. Perhaps these are also members of communities. Nigerians are saying they haven't done well, because if truly they have, we should by now have seen some kind of decrease in stolen crude oil. But as we speak, it looks like it's on the increase. So people are suspecting connivance of some of these groups.
Yeah, but you see, you cannot arrogate it to any peculiar group. What I'm saying is that Proffers solution, there's existing cases of illegal bunkering points. Why not make it a legal process? You know, so we can now get those people legally, produce this thing, pay revenue back to state and federal
Some people have said that.
And then if you let me finish my word, please. And then if you arrogate it to community or those individuals contracted to protect oil pipelines, you will see that that's alone encourage thuggery. You know, so I have always advocated against those companies giving out surveillance contract to people, individuals, to manage oil pipelines. Individuals, because I think they do it by meters. They say one person will be able to manage 200 meters, 150 meters, as the case may be. And then, in fact, some weeks ago, I had proposed to one of these oil companies and said, why not we, rather than waiting for federal government, because of for them to do whatever they intend to, they have to employ the assistance of the federal government, because it's a JV venture. And I said, why we don't need to wait for federal government. Let's introduce a partnership with the police within that locality and the communities and the landlords. And then some people within the oil companies had gone to tell some people in the community that I have been paid by the oil company to profess a solution in curbing pipeline vendors. And it's because the oil company can only listen to you when you provide threats of blowing up their pipelines.
Really?
So you can understand that is a chain reaction problem. It's also been encouraged by some people within the oil IOC.
Just quickly, you know, you talked about modular refineries. You've also talked about, you know, encouraging people who are illegal to come out clean. Do you see that their profit? I mean, one of the things that people say they go into illegal refining for is for the profit. I mean, when you steal the crude, is at no cost to you. Do you see them being able to come out clean in terms of having to make do with reduced profits?
Yeah, you see, make do with reduced profits.
Yeah, it's not as lucrative as it would be if you were getting the crude, if you're just stealing the crude and refining it, because the crude, of course, comes at no cost to you. For you to come out clean, you have to make some real investment, pay for the crude that you're going to refine, and hope to still sell it at regular market price.
Sure, because it creates a lot of hazards to our community, because, you know, something being done in the secret, in the hide, you know, because it's not legal, and then you see people, after cooking this crude oil, the solid material, the waste, they turn it back into the stream, and then it causes a lot of hazards. And those are issues where we have benzene, who have been found in the waters today.
Some people see them do these things.
Of course. These are human beings like you and I. But because of like I said, the moral decorum in the society today, you know, the easiest way they think they can survive, you know, is by going to farming. And the farming they think, because most of these communities like Uyuri Bene, Lasuku Bene, these are communities in Bayelsa State, they are just little islands. They really don't even have land to fish or farm.
Yes, they have to survive.
So therefore, they have to survive. You know, and then we must have to also educate our people that it's not everybody that needs to go to school.
You know,
so you can encourage livelihood through this means to people who were not able to go to school.
That's on one end. Some people say that will only take care of about 10 to 15% of the oil of the crude being stolen. You know, about 80 to 85% of it is actually done by major people who have big vessels. Sure. So you've taken care of 10 to 15%. What about the people who steal 80% of the crude?
That is the point. The point I am making is that since there are people coming from urban centers with huge cash to come and steal up crude oil in the region, why would not we also encourage those who are inhabitants of those oil rigs? So they could also have legal rights to produce their oil, benefit from it, than those who have huge resources than them. You know, because it's so pathetic to see people come from outside to your own region and then extort this oil to the world and make billions. So why? Because what I'm saying in accents is that we cannot totally stop this crude oil theft. It has become an endemic situation in this country. So why we prefer solution, you know, and the only way we can prefer solution is when we have adequate laws. I've repeated it several times on this station that we can only use the communities, the host community, because if I cover my environment, if we cover our community today, and our community is saying we know all the families within this community, we have 9 compounds that makes up the community, and then we can identify all family members, and then we say we know our farms, our bush, we know what is surrounding our territory, we know what the parameters within our territory to the next village. We can protect this terrain, you know. But it's so sad that National Assembly, which is meant to provide adequate legislation to back up this argument, are profiling expedite actions in order to go and take attention to sectional issues like River State cases. Look at the expedite action they took to go. Hold on. I need to say something. I said, Mark, excuse me.
Why you seem to be suggesting?
I need to arrogate my point clearly, because it would touch me so much if I don't hit on this issue. We can't operate in a society where we are being governed by laws, and then we have a National Assembly which understands that 80% of this country resources is derived from crude oil, and then we are having an epidemic case of crude oil theft, threatening our financial crop, cash crop of this country, and then people pay lip service to it, rather feel that it is more appropriate for them to rush up to issues that are not national threatening issues, like the case in River State. Okay. Hold on a second. When National Assembly members would quickly pass a resolution without investigating issues, and then jump into a plane, go to a state, investigate issue, and less than a week, the National Assembly has taken a resolution.
That is totally subjective. I mean, that is your personal view. But going back to the issue of crude oil theft, which is a matter at hand, are you suggesting that the communities do not feel ownership of the oil wells in their communities?
Of course, Mark, but you cannot discuss oil-related issues without talking about the surrounding issues. And one of the surrounding issues of crude oil theft today is the moral precedents that had been set in our society. And therefore, we must face this issue with every means necessary, with every sincerity of purpose. Therefore, if we are talking about crude oil theft, we must talk about the surrounding issues, which also deal with the National Assembly making adequate law that would empower community to protect these oil pipelines. But therefore, if National Assembly decide to deviate and think that, because the PIB had been on for a long time, and then we need adequate legislation to encourage community participation, which we have been talking for the past. Hold on a second, bro. If we have been talking in the last 7 years, and then National Assembly can be able to pass a law, a resolution quickly on issues that are partisan, it's disheartening.
All right, Alvis Dankemezo is a 92 youth leader and also a negotiator as well as a consultant to some of these matters. Thank you for coming on this morning. We'll return after this break. Please join us again.
At this special time, there is no greater virtue than sharing the nourishment of Peak in special Ramadan packs. Ramadan Kareem from Peak.